Namaste and welcome to React Bits. This is 30 days of Appwrite and today is day 10. Up until now, we have looked at the Appwrite, different services that Appwrite provides, and in the last episode, we have implemented authentication in our application using Appwrite. In today's session, we are going to implement social authentication or OAuth provider authentication. So if in your application you want users to be able to sign up or log in using their social accounts like Facebook, Google, GitHub, Twitter, and many more, you can use the OAuth based login that Appwrite handles quite well. First, in our login page, let us add login with Google button. So in this session, we will implement Google as a OAuth provider. However, you can set up any supported OAuth providers in Appwrite in similar way. So let us go to our login page and here let us set up our login with Google button. So let me just copy this login button, duplicate this, and let me call this Google. Let's give it a style from primary. Let's make it red. Okay, and instead of this we should call let me make the name OAuth login, and we should pass provider will be Google. Let's create this function in our API service. So here future OAuth login string provider and return count dot. So this is how easy it is to call create OAuth session. Okay, we can call account dot create OAuth to session, and if this were Flutter web, we would not have to do any further setting than setting up the Google OAuth provider in Appwrite. However, for Android, we need to do some settings. Dot instance OAuth login with Google, and if this is completed without any error, we will again navigate to here main screen. We should navigate to main screen, otherwise we should show the error message. Now the OAuth login is not yet supported in Linux platform or Windows platform. However, it is supported in Mac OS. So let me close this, and before running in Android we need to do some setup. So let me show you what we need to do. Let's go to Appwrite.io docs and then getting started with Flutter. If we go down, for Android we need to register a callback in the Android manifest in order for our social auth or OAuth provider authentication to work. So let me copy this and then go to our project and open Android manifest from Android app src main. Here inside our application, after this activity we can add this. So let me remove manifest and application from here. In order to set this up, we need our project ID here. So let me get the project ID, app constants. So this is the project ID. Here I have already added this platform. If you have not, you need to add this. We learned this in one of our previous episodes in the 30 days of Appwrite series. Please, if you do not know, go back to the playlist and find that episode regarding making your first request. So let me launch my emulator inside we need to remove this manifest. Try. While this is running, we need to set up our Google authentication provider in our Appwrite console. So let us go to Appwrite console. Here, if we go to users, OAuth 2 providers, we see the list of tons of OAuth 2 providers. Here we need to enable this. And for this, we need to also get the Google's OAuth app ID and app secret. And here, if we go to this, we get from where we can set this up. So we need to go to API console and project list or create a new one, then go to API and services, credentials, new credential, OAuth client ID, and select appropriate application type for your project and enter any additional information required. Let's go to Google Cloud Console. So go to console.cloud.google.com, and here if you already have a project you can use that. If not, you can create a new project from here, and in the new project let me name water tracker. Let's just keep it to appwrite.io, and let's create. It's creating my new project. Okay, it's created. Now my new project is selected. You can see it here. After that, let me zoom in a little bit. I can go to API and services and then credentials. Once I go to credentials, I can create credentials and choose OAuth client ID. Once I do this, I'm taken to this page. To create OAuth client ID, you must first set the product name on the consent screen. So we must set up the consent screen. So let's just set up this. Make this external, create, and then app name, user support email. Let's just use mine. I don't want to use any logo at the moment. Let's add the authorized domain. For us, it is appwrite.io, top level domain, and contact information. I can again use mine, save and continue. Scopes, add or remove scopes. What do we want? See your primary Google account email address, and then personal info you have made publicly available. Update, save and continue. Test users, let me add some test users. So before this app goes public, we can add test users in order to test. Okay, save and continue. Summary, that's fine. Now we can go to credentials and then create OAuth client ID. Application type, so this is our web application. We should select web application. Let's name it this. And authorized JavaScript origin, we can add like localhost and then again demo.io. You should add your own domain here, and then in the authorized redirect URI you need to copy this here. You need to copy this URI and then use it here. So this is our authorized callback URI. Let's tap create, and now I have my client ID and client secret. Let me copy this client ID. Let's go back. Let's add the app ID. This is our app ID, and then app secret. Let's go to this and then paste this secret and update. We have successfully enabled Google as a OAuth provider in our project. So this is what you need to do to each provider. So you can turn on provide app ID, app secret, and here is documentation for each from where you can get those. Let's go to our project. Now, let me log out. If I now tap continue with Google, I'll be taken to Google sign in. Let me just switch to English. And this is the email ID that I added as a test user. I can enter my password and then next. So it's redirected and voila, we have successfully logged in using our OAuth provider. And if we go to Appwrite console and if we check at the users, now we have our new user. We get the name as well as we added the profile scope and it's already a verified user. So this is how easy it is to set up OAuth in Appwrite. Once you set up here, the only thing that you need to do in order to log in is using in your app, you need to call account.createOAuth2 session and you need to pass the provider, where provider is a string, that is the name. You can pass Google, Facebook, GitHub, Twitter, etc. as a provider. Thank you everyone for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We will continue along with more tutorials in the upcoming episode. Thank you. See you again in the next episode.